Hi, all my final expense clients out there. Thanks so much for tuning in. So, this is a question that I get pretty often, and it's mostly from an existing client that has been approached by another agent to purchase final expense insurance. And the question generally is, what is that? Not the most pleasant name in the world. I don't particularly love it, but I'm not the marketing people who come up with these things. But basically, the proceeds of a final expense policy is designed to go to your beneficiary to help to pay for your funeral or your burial expenses. Other than maybe like buying a new car or maybe a new house, there are very few things that will give a person more sticker shock than having to pay for someone's funeral and burial expenses. It is universally more expensive than people anticipate it to be. So, and a lot of times you have to kind of get into that person's checking account or use their savings to pay for their services, or in other circumstances you have to either pay for it yourself if it's a parent or a spouse or somebody of that nature, or in a lot of circumstances I see people having to do crowdfunding for those sorts of services because it is so much more expensive than people anticipate it to be. So again, the proceeds from a final expense policy is really designed to go to pay for that person's funeral. And listen, far be it from me to tell you what to do as far as your funeral expenses. So, if you're a person that wants the nicest coffin in the world, then you might want to get, a face amount that's a little bit higher. The inflation, everything tends to cost more expensive 5 years from now. So, you kind of want to factor that into to what type of face amount you might want and who your beneficiary might be. So it's a great question, and I'm really grateful when people call and ask questions because I feel like it's a great way for me to educate you. One really good aspect of final expense insurance is that a lot of those policies include what is called guaranteed issue. So what that means is that they'll ask very simple medical questions, so it's a little bit easier to get in some circumstances than just a regular life insurance policy, which especially if you're older or maybe you're retired, that's a little bit more conducive for you because stuff breaks as we get older, unfortunately, and maybe you had a recent surgery or maybe you have a chronic illness and take prescription drugs. So it kind of is a little bit easier for you to obtain that approval for that life insurance policy than on a regular completely underwritten life insurance policy. So I hope this is helpful. This question gets asked a few times a year at least. So again, thank you to the person who asked the question. And as always, quotes are complimentary. Feel free to schedule a call on my Calendly link, and I'll be happy to walk you through these options if you feel like it's a good fit for you and your needs. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great one.